Yeah, good day to you and welcome to today's class. Today we're going to be starting a class. We're going to be understanding the basic principles of designs and how to design. And basically, we're going to be studying Photoshop and how to edit and design on Photoshop. So we're going to be taking you from a beginner's level to becoming an expert in designing with Photoshop. So let's get right into it. So for today's class, we're going to be studying the basic elements of design. So what are those things we need to know? Knowing the knowledge of designs. So now we're going to be starting right about now. So now, first of all, let's look at what is a design. A design is a process of creating visual solutions to communicate ideas effectively. So now, anything that has a visual representation that communicates an idea that sells a clear picture, we regard that as a design. So now, further simplifying this, a design makes an idea visible, turning thoughts to visuals, turning thoughts into visuals. So now let's look at some few examples, and one of a great place to one of the great place you can find a good design is on Pinterest. And here we are on Pinterest. So now these are designs. Basically, looking at these designs, Kingdom Hour, the mountain top experience, you know that this is a church design. You know that this is a church design. Looking at this, you seeing all this, you know that this is a church design. So now, what is the message this design is passing? Looking at this, you're seeing Sunday service. Okay, it's telling me about a service that holds on Sunday, so that he knows that means it's a church service. But before you talk about a service that holds on Sunday, design has to be designed for a particular set of persons. Imagine you are designing for someone that has never been to a church before, that has never heard about church, that doesn't know the meaning of the word church, and the person is saying Sunday service, and the person doesn't know what a service looks like. The person will interpret this design to best suit himself. If the person knows service to be partying, he sees it that okay, Sunday party. What time is it happening? It's happening on Sunday on the 26th of November 2023. Wow, on the 26th of November 2023, there is going to be a party on Sunday. What time? 6:30 a.m. prompt. Wow, I'm going to party on Sunday morning. Are we together? So now the message has to be designed for a particular audience. So now your audience determines the kind of design you will do. Imagine you want to design for somebody that's never been to church before. You have to explain using your design to explain what a church is. I don't know if you are getting my point. So now designs are ways we communicate. We bring in visuals, like we bring in thoughts into design. This person doing this design now wants to sell us that okay, there is a service happening on a Sunday on the 28th, and he wants us to be there. He's giving us the time, he's giving us the location. And in case there is a reason that you can't make it or you're having problem, there is an inquiry number to call. This is a design. Are we together? So now we've spoken about this. So also we'll be looking at why do we design. We design to communicate, to pass message visually. We pass message visually. Designs are created to solve problems. Yes, those are one of the major reasons we create designs. They are created to express creativity and influence perceptions. Majorly this creativity and influencing perception comes in majorly when we do branding. Branding is a way of creating a perception. Yes, you see a logo, it's a way of creating a perception. When you look at logo like Coca-Cola, what comes to your mind is a drink. When you look at logo like Apple, the Apple logo, what comes to your mind is a laptop. When you look at the logo like Fendi, what comes to your mind is a clothes brand. So now those are the things that comes to mind. When you look at logo like Vionex, what comes to your mind is a movie studio. So now I don't know if you are getting my point. Those are the things that shapes your perception. They influence your perception. And we use designs, we use it to build brands. Designs are one of the beautiful elements we use to build brands. Logo designs are designs we use to reach the people and tell people about our brands. So tips about design. Designs are meant to be beautiful. Take it from me, they are meant to be beautiful because you need to be appealing to the people you are sent to. So designs are meant to be beautiful, but above being beautiful, your design needs to be clear and passing the image or the idea it is sending to its client clearly. Are we together? So now also we're looking at elements of a design. Basic elements of a design are line, shape, color, texture, and space. Let's leave font and value for now. We'll be coming into that later on. But for the lines, lines are what guides your eyes. Let's look at some similar examples. Let's look at, yes, intentionally pick this design. Look at this spot here. Look at this spot here. This spot here. This down spot. Look at that arrow. Contact us now with that arrow pointing to their IG handle. That is the use of line. Line helps direct the eyes. It helps it gives direction to your design. It makes your design has direction. So that's one of the use of lines that we use. When we use shape, shape can be used to differentiate. Sorry, can be used to group. Also, shape can be used to group and can be used to give meaning and continuity to a design. If you are having a circle on top of a design and in that circle is written apple, and in the middle you are having the same similar circle, so now you can liken that, okay, this apple that is on top this circle up here is having a relationship with this circle that is written pineapple down here. That's what we use shape for. And it also used to form an idea. Color gives the mood. Color gives the emotion of a design. We'll still talk about color as we move down this course into this course. Color gives emotion and focus. What the color do? When you look at a design with a color, there is a move. Either you are pulled to it or you are pulled against it. I don't know if you are getting me. So texture gives a mood and makes the design feel realistic. But it depends on the design. There are some designs that are best without a texture. But for majorly, textures are used to give a beautiful mood, make you feel into the design, and also give realistic feels to the design. Spacing and what we use to add balance to a design. We have different type of spacing. Majorly, we call one negative space, which also call white spacing. So now it's used to add balance and to give room for in a design. Are we together? So now we're looking at the basic principles of design. We have balance, contrast, alignment, repetition, proximity, and white spacing. Yeah, we just spoke about spacing. Now white spacing is used to give room in a design. The proximity used to in grouping related items in a design. We will look at all this when we get into the practical course of this design. But proximity how helps us to, okay, align a design together. Like maybe imagine you're having a design. I don't know, maybe we should look at one. Let's look at this. Let's still look at this. See now, you see that start learning today, create design. That part together, they are together. That's the proximity of that design is at that spot. So now when you look at it now, it's look at as if those that write-up is grouped together. Are we together? And if you look at this now, it's a way of, okay, pointing your eyes to, okay, reading a thought at the same time. Are we together? So alignment deals with how clean and connected your layers are. We have different type of alignment. Basically, we'll be looking at the central alignment, the left-sided alignment, and the right-sided alignment. So okay, yeah, let's look at this now. We have the left-sided alignment, the center alignment, and the right-sided alignment. Those are the three basic alignments we'll be working with, we'll be starting with. Then as we go further in this course, we'll be looking at other alignments. I'm just teaching us the basic things we are going to be needing for this course. Then repetition gives repetition has to do with patterns and consistency. You know, when you repeat, okay, the same example I gave before of an apple in a circle upstairs, then you're having another circle down with pineapple. That's the repetition, the same shape but different elements. But the thing is that it has given us a connectivity between these two shapes. I don't know, the same pattern, circle, connectivity, consistency. Okay, when you're seeing the consistency, okay, this guy is the circle is constant. That means there's a relationship between this first circle that is having an apple and this circle, second circle that is having a pineapple. So now we're looking at color theorem. Yes, we have different type of color. We have the primary colors, secondary colors, the warm and cool colors. Then we have the color the way we combine colors is we call it the harmony, the way we combine colors, the harmony of colors. Are we together? So now the primary colors we have are red, blue, and yellow. Let's look at that. Let's quickly look at that. Yeah, okay. This color wheel is kind of complicated. Let's look for something simpler. Yes, let's see this. So now our primary colors here are red, blue, and yellow. Then our primary colors, they combine together to give us our secondary colors. You see this orange here? The combination of red and yellow gives us orange. The combination of red and blue gives us this violet. The combination of blue and yellow gives us green. So now those are our basic color and our primary color, secondary colors and our primary colors. So now they come in handy when we are designing. So also our color theorem, in color theorem we're looking at how we can combine colors. These are primary colors, our secondary colors, then how we can combine colors. If you're using one color, we have complementary colors. Complementary colors are colors that have two colors that can coexist at the same time without nobody overshadowing anybody. What I'm trying to insinuate is that if we have two colors, let's say a color like black and white, you know that when you're seeing black and white together, there is no how you can't mistake black for white and white for black. Or you won't say that the black is overshadowing the white because the white is not showing properly because it's on a black design. I don't know if you are getting my point. The same thing with yellow and black, blue and white. Those are colors that complement each other. Are we together? Then we'll be looking at how to combine multiple colors, how to use 3 colors in a design, how to use 4 colors in a design, and how to use mono. Mono means using one color in a design. Are we together? And the type and patterns of colors that we'll be using also. So warm colors are colors that gives a warm feel. It's used to send passive emotions. I don't know if you are look at this design here, this color wheel. If you look at from here, which is this violet color, down to this yellow color, they are warm colors. They have this sunburn kind of feel. Then if you look at this blue down to this light yellowish green, it has this moon-like feel. The moon-like feel that is giving us a cool color. Those are the ones we categorize as cool color. The ones giving us a sun-like feel we categorize as the warm colors. Are we together? So now, understanding the psychology of colors is very important. The psychology of colors determines, okay, what this color stands for. Looking at red is an emotional color. But if you look at, let's look at a typical example. If you look at the financial sector of most countries, they use the color blue. Color blue stands for trust. So now they're telling you that you can trust us as a bank. You can trust us with your money. They use the color gold. Gold stands for, okay, sophistication, stands for expensive. Yes, we can handle the money you are bringing. I don't know if you are getting my point. Those are the way we use pick colors. If you look at the color green, we have a lot of health sector using green. You're using green because green looks like, okay, it's natural. We are able to steam because we are human beings. They are able to tell you that, okay, with our product, we are able to give you that natural feeling you want in our medicine and stuff like that. If you look at food brands use color like red and yellow. It has been said over time that those colors gives a level of appetite to someone. Are we together? So now we're going next. Also we'll be looking at typography. We have different type of fonts. We have the sans serif, sorry, typeface. It's called typeface. We have the sans serif, we have the serif and the script. So now let's take a quick, let me just show you a quick one of how the serif and the sans serif looks like. Yes, let's look at this. So now this is a very typical example of the type of typefaces we have. You see the serif always have an addition in their ending. You see the S is having like an extra padding in the top and in the bottom. Look at the F, it's having an extra padding, padding at the bottom. Look at the I, an extra padding on the bottom and also on top. So those are what we use to classify the serif fonts. Then we are looking at the sans serif. The sans serif is it maintains an equal shape round. The sans serif maintains an equal shape round. Then the script fonts are like handwriting fonts, which we use to it looks like handwriting. They are used for basically for designs and stuff. It's called an handwriting font. We also have display fonts though. Actually, we have display fonts, we have decorative fonts, we have other types of fonts, but basically we are going to be sticking with the serif, the sans serif, the scripts, and also I think we will also be looking at the display font as well, because that will also come handy in this course. So now hierarchy has to do with how the text in a font in a design is being aligned, and what is more visible. Hierarchy has to do with a lot of visibility. So now if you look at a design, let's check out a design. Let's look at a design. Let's look for a let's look at a church design. Okay, yes, let's look at this design. Looking at this design now, the first thing that catches your attention is storm, the word storm. Then if you are looking at the word storm, the next thing if you are going to look at this design vividly, you will have to read through to understand what the storm is for. Then the next thing you must read through, that you will read through, will be where it says in the midst of the storm. So automatically that's what captures your attention, because that's the biggest font we are seeing here. That's the biggest typeface that is appearing in front of us. So now when you are seeing that, that's the major message they want to pass through you. Maybe that's the title of the service, or the sermon they are having, or the series they want to treat, or the seminar they are holding, or the conference they are holding. That's the major title, and they want you to see it. Then the next thing you are seeing that is more visible, looking at visibility, it is the date and the time of the event, which is under this one here, at this black section. We're seeing is from the 4th to the 10th June 2022. We are looking at the time because it's more visible than the theme. The theme also will catch your attention after you've seen this in the midst of the font. The theme catches your attention because it is close to that. So now in this design, our title font is in the midst of the storm. Then our subtitle font is the the time and the location. The time, the location, and the date. That's our second our subtitle font. Then our body font, we can also say this doesn't really have a body font. Okay, yeah, let's look at this. This has more body fonts. Look at this. Our title font here is what? Kingdom Hour. Our subtitle font here is what? Sunday 3rd July 2023, because that's more bold. Are we together? Then the next thing we are seeing is the mountain top experience. Then our body font is where we have the address and the for more inquiry. Are we together? So now that's where hierarchy comes in. Then spacing, yeah, key spacing has to do with the spacing between two letters in a word. Let's look at the word like happy, Happy. Then the spacing between the last P and the Y, the spacing between it is called kinning. Then also the leading is the spacing between two words, two full words. Like let's say happy Sunday. The happy on top and the Sunday, the spacing between both of them are called kinning. Then tracking is the spacing between all the words. Let's look. Yes, okay, yeah, this is a perfect example. You see, for leading is the spacing between two words. Then tracking is the spacing between all the letters. The spacing between all the letters is what we call tracking. Then kinning is the spacing between two letters in a word. Then for designing, we should try to stick to no more than 3 fonts in a design. It gives the design a good look and feel. Having multiple fonts makes the design unprofessional. So we are going to be looking at we're going to be considering this, how to use the rule of thirds to design, how to place the rule of thirds. This means dividing your canvas into 9 spaces, and how to use them for design, where to put what, how to put what in where, and that will help us, also helps our focus when we are looking at the design, because the way the eye works, the way it reads, as an English reader, you read from left to right. So most of the time, the design flow should have that flow. Are we together? Then now, lastly, we'll be looking at how to think how to think design is a very, very important part of this course. If you have learnt anything today, make sure you go home with this, how to think design. So now, to do a critical thinking of the design, you need to think in terms of position. So now imagine you're working for a client, and your client wants you to do a design for a book he wants to sell in school. You first of all need to take the position of your client that wants you to work for him, see what your client is saying, hear what he's hearing, and think the way your client is thinking. Once you've done, that's the initial part of design thinking. Once you've done that, the next thing, now you now have to see the way your client is seeing. That means you need to see the way those people that will buy the book have to see. What are those people, what will those people see in a design that will make them order a book? What are those things those people want to see in a design that will make them order a book? What do they want to hear? What are they hearing? They are hearing. Once you know what they are hearing, will help you to know, okay, what are those things you can put in a design? What they work with, the environment they find themselves, are those things that you will look into, that will help you to put one or two things into the designs you are working on. So now you need to take the position first of your designer, or sorry, of your client. See as your client see, hear as he hear, thinks as he thinks. Then next, you take the position of your clients, be in the position of their students. You're in that position, you see what they see, hear what they hear, and think the way they would think. That will help you design a better design and give a better outcome. These are ways we try to approach, and this thing helps us to see and structure designs that will help deliver the best results as a designer. Are we together? So now, lastly, I would love to leave you with this quote. I would love to leave you with this quote, that don't just design, understand who you are designing for and why. Understanding who you are designing for is a very important factor in designing. Then why will give you, okay, if I'm designing this, why am I designing this? Do I want this person to come to church? Do I want this person to buy a book? We determine the kind of elements you'll be using in that design. I'm so happy you took this class today. We'll be continuing next week, and we'll be considering some other things in next week class. And by next week, we'll be going into how to look at the interface of the software we'll be using and stuff like that. But I won't leave you alone. I would love to leave you with some few assignments that will help you juggle your mind during the course of this week before the next class. So now, take up a good design, study it, look at it, make it, feel it, understand what makes the design a good design. And also an example show up an example of a poster, and to identify the elements in that poster, identify where they use lines, identify how they use shapes, identify how their text, their hierarchy, and all those things in the design. Also, pick out 3 colors that best interact with you, that best explain your mood. Colors, it can be the color you love the most and stuff like that. And see and check out those colors in designs, in different designs. And lastly, I would love you to feed your mind on good designs. Intentionally, I put 15 good designs and 5 bad designs. So just look at bad designs to know that, okay, these are things I'm not supposed to look out for, things I'm not supposed to go into. What are the bad designs? In design with more than 3 fonts is a bad design. Designs not having hierarchy is a bad design. Design with no proper spacing is a bad design. Design that doesn't have design element, no alignment, is a bad design. What are those things to look for in a design? Hierarchy, cleanliness, white spacing, and those are the things you look for in a good design. I'm so glad you took this course. I'm so happy that you are here. So I'll be seeing you in next class. we'll be continuing from where we are ending now. Do have a lovely day.